How important is the Philippine history? Few people are aware of how significant Philippine history is. The bulk of us delight in contemporary designs, technology, and other frivolities. As a result, we have little time left over to learn about the rubble of our country. Learning about Philippine history is crucial because it enables us to understand how the country came to be and how it has gradually improved. It also teaches us how to approach contemporary problems in advance. All we have to do is improvise according to our time constraints. In conclusion, every Filipino's present and future plans are guided by history. Understanding the past of our nation helps us respect the struggles and achievements of our national heroes. Additionally, it improves our sense of nationalism and builds our sense of national identity. We must therefore be aware of our history and be proud of being Filipino. History teaches us that our current selves are a product of our past selves. Studying Philippine history also allows us to draw inspiration from the heroes who fought to free the country from colonizers. Their experiences inspire us to give the country our best selves. History is about the past events that happened in our country. That's why it's important as it has shaped us into what we are today. What happened in the past is part of our identity and the root of our generations, and it can also help us make decisions for the future and be aware of the mistakes that should never be repeated again. Always remember this: kung wala tayong kasaysayan, wala tayong saysay. When did the Philippine history begins? According to my research, the history of the Philippines is believed to have begun with the arrival of the first humans via land bridges at least 30,000 years ago. The first recorded visit from the west is the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan on Homonhon Island southeast of Samar on March 16, 1591. Prior to Magellan's arrival, there were Negrito tribes who roamed the isle, but they were later supplanted by Austronesians. These groups of them is stratified into hunter-gatherer tribes, warrior societies, petty plutocracies, and maritime-oriented harbor principalities which eventually grew into kingdoms, ragionates, principalities, confederation, and sultanates. States such as the Indianized Rajanates of Butuan and Cebu, the dynasty of Tondo, the kingdoms of Maysapan and Manila, the Confederation of Madyaas, the Sinified country of May, as well as the Muslim sultanates of Sulu and Maguindanao. These small states flourished from as early as the 10th century AD, despite these kingdoms attaining complex political and social orders, as well as enjoying trade with areas now called China, India, Japan, Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. None encompassed the whole archipelago, which was to become the unified Philippines of the 20th century. The remainder of the settlements was independent barangay allied with one of the largest nations. What makes Philippine history unique? I think what makes our Philippine history unique is the history of the conquest of our country by different countries such as Americans, Japanese, and Spaniards, even though the events of their conquest were bloody and a nightmare. For Filipinos, they were responsible for the expansion of our country's culture and traditions, which we still carry with us until today. And for me, every period of our country's history is very historical because many Filipino heroes fought for our country to gain our freedom from the hands of the conquerors. So we should appreciate and not forget the history of our country because whatever happened in the past is part of our identity and that is still the root of our generations.